Sit back and enjoy 2 hours of fascinating facts you didn't know. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Let's get started. Crotalaria cunninghamii, known as the green hummingbird flower or bird flower, is a plant native to northern Australia. Its green flowers with dark lines have a shape that visually resembles perched hummingbirds, although this resemblance is only an optical illusion. The shrub can reach between 3 and 10 feet in height and thrives in arid climates. The plant has traditionally been used by indigenous peoples to treat eye infections. Pastafarianism, or the religion of the flying spaghetti monster, was created in 2005 by Bobby Henderson in the United States as a protest against the teaching of intelligent design in public schools. This parody religion has gained followers in the Americas, Europe, and other regions. Its symbol represents an entity made of spaghetti with meatballs. Pastafarians use humor to defend scientific education. Among their satirical ideas is the relationship between pirates and climate change. The movement is an emblem of religious freedom of expression. In Hawaii, United States, spectacular lava waterfalls have been recorded during volcanic eruptions. These occur when a lava tube breaks, an underground structure through which molten material flows. When it reaches the surface, the lava forms a glowing stream that looks like a red waterfall. These tubes form within lava flows when the outer layer cools while the interior continues to move. In some cases, the lava ends up pouring directly into the sea. Contact with the water generates steam and toxic gases. This natural phenomenon is so striking that it seems from another planet. Cattails are aquatic plants that grow in wetlands and marshes in many regions of the world. Their cylindrical spikes, resembling sausages, contain thousands of tiny flowers. These flowers are densely grouped and are mainly pollinated by the wind. The male flowers are located on the upper part of the spike and the female ones on the lower part. Although small, they play a key role in the reproduction of the plant. The seeds are easily dispersed thanks to their lightweight and cottony structure. This adaptation allows cattails to spread rapidly in wet environments. The Dong Tao chicken, also called the dragon chicken, originates from Vietnam and is distinguished by its thick legs, which are considered a delicacy at traditional celebrations. Its meat is highly valued, and some select specimens have reached prices of up to $450. In Vietnam, the price per pound can range between approximately $7.5 and $8.6. This breed is raised with care due to its sensitivity to climate. The legs, because of their size and texture, are the most prized part. The Dong Tao chicken is rare outside Asia and difficult to export. Recorded at Playa Larga in Tarragona, Spain, this video shows a Mediterranean jellyfish known as the fried egg jellyfish. It belongs to the species Cotyloryza tuberculata and can reach up to approximately 15.7 inches in diameter, although it is usually around 13.8. Its venom has low toxicity and rarely causes serious discomfort in humans. It is common in warm waters of the Mediterranean Sea during summer. Its rounded shape and yellow central coloration give it its common name. These are blue or green chicken eggs, laid by breeds such as the Araucana, originating from southern Chile. Their color is due to the accumulation of biliverdin, a natural pigment in the shell. It is not caused by a special enzyme, but by a genetic mutation. These eggs have the same cholesterol content as white or brown ones. Their coloration does not affect nutritional value. They are appreciated for their distinctive appearance and cultural origin. The bolete, known scientifically as Suillus luridus, is a mushroom that inhabits pine and deciduous forests. It appears in summer and autumn, and its flesh turns blue when cut due to a reaction with oxygen. It is toxic if consumed raw or undercooked, especially together with alcohol. Although it is not usually lethal, it can cause gastrointestinal discomfort. Its striking appearance makes it easy to identify. Recorded in Ecuador, this video shows a glass frog belonging to the family Centralenidae. These frogs have a transparent abdomen that allows internal organs such as the heart, liver, stomach, and intestines to be seen. They are distributed in Central America and South America, especially in humid and mountainous areas. In Ecuador, several species have been documented, such as Centraline cutucu and Centraline sarsa. Their translucent ventral skin is a unique biological adaptation. Have you ever wondered why your fingers wrinkle when they spend a long time in contact with water? The explanation is actually quite simple. It is due to an evolutionary trait we humans have inherited from our ancestors. When the skin on our fingers stays in contact with water for too long, Our body creates these wrinkles to improve grip and prevent objects from slipping from our hands. For our ancestors, this trait was very useful, especially when they went fishing on rainy days. The blue lobster is an extremely rare variant of the genus Homerus, with an estimated occurrence of 1 in every 2 million. Its color is due to a genetic mutation that causes an overproduction of crustacyanin, a protein that alters pigment interactions in the exoskeleton. Like all lobsters, it molts periodically to grow, shedding its shell. During this process, it is temporarily vulnerable until the new exoskeleton hardens. The blue coloration does not affect its behavior or overall biology. The hog-nosed snake is not venomous to humans. Its main defense is pretending to be dead, a behavior called thanatosis. It rolls onto its back, opens its mouth, and lets its tongue hang out. In addition, it emits an odor similar to that of decomposing meat. This smell deters many predators that avoid dead or spoiled prey. Did you know that the world record for the greatest number of hamburgers eaten by a single person is more than 30,000? Let me introduce you to Don Gorski, a man from Wisconsin, United States, who has not stopped eating them since he first tried them in 1972. The story goes that Don visited a McDonald's that opened near his home and ordered 3 Big Macs without knowing that day would mark the beginning of his love for hamburgers. Since then, Don estimates that he has bought more than 30,000 hamburgers from McDonald's, and in case you doubt his achievement, he has all the purchase receipts to prove he is not lying. He himself claims that his daily diet is based on 95% hamburgers and Coca-Cola. His love for the famous restaurant is so great that he even has a statue of Ronald McDonald in his front yard. In the Gomez Palacio market in Durango, Mexico, it is common to find scorpions of the genus Centruroides, especially Centruroides suffusus, known for its potent venom. Although its sting can be dangerous, especially in children, it rarely causes death in adults if medical attention is received. These scorpions are used for artisanal and scientific purposes and are sometimes displayed alive in aquariums. This is the moment when shadows disappear, filmed at the middle of the world city in Pichincha, Ecuador. It occurs during an equinox, when the sun is positioned on the plane of the celestial equator. At that instant, its light strikes the surface perpendicularly. This causes objects not to cast shadows at noon. The phenomenon happens twice a year, in March and September. This strange animal is the deep-sea tripod fish, known scientifically as Bathypterois grallator. What appear to be legs are rigid extensions of its pelvic and caudal fins. These allow it to rest on the seafloor as if it were on stilts. It remains motionless for long periods, oriented toward the current. Its diet is based on small crustaceans and zooplankton. This phenomenon is called tonic immobility and occurs in chickens when they face a stressful situation. It can be induced by drawing a line in front of their beak while they are lying down or by moving a finger in front of their eyes. In this state, the animal reduces its heart rate and remains motionless. It is interpreted as a defensive strategy, pretending to be dead to avoid attacks. Some predators prefer active prey. The trance can last several minutes and is interrupted by erasing the line or stimulating the bird. Although it may seem unusual, it has been documented in ethological studies. The Moiraki boulders are located on Koikohe Beach on the South Island of New Zealand. They are geological concretions formed about 60 million years ago during the Paleocene. Some reach up to 9.8 feet in diameter, and their spherical shape has generated comparisons to shells or eggs. They are composed mainly of mudstone with crystalline mineral cores. They are not hollow, although their interior can differ in density. Their formation is due to the accumulation of marine sediments rich in calcium carbonate. Pilot Bob Hoover performed an aerial maneuver called a barrel roll while pouring water into a glass without spilling it. During the 360-degree turn, he maintained a constant acceleration of 1 g. This force is equivalent to Earth's gravity and allows objects to behave as if they were at rest. In that state, the liquid remains in the glass thanks to the balance between gravity and centripetal acceleration. Probably recorded in Russia, this vehicle is a water bicycle called the Waterbird. It is designed to move over water using human power, without a motor. Its lightweight structure, made of aluminum and fiberglass, provides stability. The user propels it with vertical body movements. This motion activates a mechanism that takes advantage of water resistance to move forward. Some models include mechanical parts similar to pistons. It is a recreational innovation in personal nautical design. This is what happens when you try to wring out a towel in outer space. The water gathers around the fabric and does not fall to the ground as it would on Earth. This gives you an idea of how different life is aboard the International Space Station. The Hakone Kowakian Unison Water Park in Japan offers a red wine-themed pool as part of its recreational attractions. This feature is based on the popular belief that wine can benefit the skin. Red wine contains antioxidants, such as polyphenols, which have shown positive effects when consumed. However, there is no scientific evidence that bathing in wine produces similar benefits. The experience is mainly cultural and playful. The steam rising over the frozen Lake Michigan occurs when extremely cold air comes into contact with areas of warmer water that have not yet frozen. This thermal contrast generates a visible mist that looks like smoke, but is actually water vapor. The phenomenon is observed more intensely during extreme cold waves. Although sublimation can occur in thin layers of ice, the main cause of the steam is evaporation. Water freezes at 32 degrees Fahrenheit, but it can evaporate at temperatures far below 212. At sunrise, solar radiation accelerates this process at the surface. Niagara Falls is one of the most beautiful places on the planet. It is even considered one of the 7 wonders of the modern world. Every minute, more than 3 million cubic feet of water flow through it. This is an immense amount of water. What you probably did not know is that in 1848, the water suddenly stopped flowing, and people in the surrounding areas panicked and believed some kind of natural cataclysm had occurred. But the culprit turned out to be nothing more than a massive block of ice that had blocked the flow of water in one of the narrow sections located upstream. After 30 hours, that block of ice melted, and everything returned to normal. Seeing the water flow again, locals breathed a sigh of relief. Apparently, it was not the end of the world yet. A water-spraying truck in China creates a rainbow as it moves along. These vehicles help control air pollution, especially construction dust, a common problem in rapidly growing Chinese cities. By spraying water, they bind dust particles and make them fall to the ground, improving air quality. In addition, during summer, the water mist acts as an evaporative cooling system, similar to air conditioning. In this way, they mitigate heat and provide relief to pedestrians. This is how carpet pythons climb trees. Unlike other snakes that climb slowly, carpet pythons wrap their bodies around the tree to propel themselves with agility. These snakes live in Australia, Indonesia, and Papua New Guinea. They measure between 6 and 13 feet long. Their diet consists of small mammals, bats, wallabies, birds, and lizards. This is the basking shark, one of the largest fish in the world. It can reach up to approximately 33 feet in length, surpassed only by the whale shark, which can measure more than approximately 39 feet. It inhabits coastal areas of temperate and cold waters, such as the Atlantic and the Pacific. Despite its size, it is harmless to humans. It feeds on plankton through passive filtration while swimming with its mouth open. Its behavior is slow and peaceful. Elephants are excellent swimmers and can travel long distances in the water. They use their trunks as breathing tubes, allowing them to partially submerge without stopping breathing. Although it is not common to see them swimming, they do so to move between habitats or escape threats. They can hold their breath for several minutes thanks to their adapted physiology. They have been observed crossing rivers, lakes, and channels in Africa and Asia. These are 2 jumping spiders captured in slow motion as they perform their characteristic leaps. There are more than 6,000 species of salticids distributed around the world. They have 8 eyes, with 2 very large frontal ones that give them stereoscopic vision. Thanks to this, they can calculate distances accurately when jumping. Although they do not literally see everything around them, their field of view is very wide. Before jumping, many release a strand of silk as a safety measure. This behavior allows them to avoid falling if the jump fails. Recorded in the Chiloé archipelago, Chile, this video shows the Minga of house pulling, a community tradition in which an entire house is moved by land or water. The relocation is carried out with the help of neighbors, using oxen or adapted boats. No money is paid for the work. Instead, the favor is returned by helping in future Mingas. This practice reflects values of solidarity and reciprocity inherent to the local culture. The Lopafit electric bicycle was developed in the Netherlands and stands out for using a treadmill instead of pedals. By walking on it, the movement activates a motor that propels the bicycle, allowing it to reach speeds of up to approximately 15.5 miles per hour. Its design has drawn attention for being unusual and for combining exercise with assisted transportation. The price varies by country and distributor. Although some sites list it for up to $3,600, in the Americas it has been offered for approximately $2,500. Promacateuthis sulcus is a little-known species of squid, recorded from a single specimen. Its appearance has been misinterpreted as having human teeth, but in reality, these are lip folds surrounding its beak. Squid, including Humboldt squid, do not have teeth, but rather an extremely hard, horny beak. This beak, comparable in strength to metal, allows them to capture and tear their prey with precision. In 2009, the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety conducted a crash test between a 2009 Chevrolet Malibu and a 1959 Chevrolet Bel Air. Both vehicles carried test dummies to evaluate the impact. The Bel Air suffered severe deformation that compromised passenger safety. In contrast, the Malibu absorbed the impact in a controlled manner, better protecting the occupants. The test showed how safety systems have advanced over 5 decades. The Motobag is a motorized suitcase designed in Chicago by the company of the same name, intended to make moving through airports easier. It uses a rechargeable lithium battery and a 200-watt electric motor. It can reach up to approximately 8 miles per hour and carry people weighing up to approximately 260 pounds. Its design allows the user to sit and ride the suitcase like a compact vehicle. These are razorfish, known scientifically as Aeoliscus strigatus. They inhabit tropical waters of the Indian and Pacific Oceans, especially in reef areas. Their bodies are elongated and compressed, and they swim in a vertical position, head down. They move in synchronized groups, which helps them avoid predators. Their diet is based on zooplankton, such as copepods and microcrustaceans. The pelican eel, scientifically known as Eurypharynx pelicanoides, inhabits deep waters of the Atlantic, Pacific, and Indian Oceans, generally between approximately 2,300 and 9,840 feet. Its mouth is disproportionately large relative to its body, allowing it to swallow prey larger than itself. It can reach up to approximately 24 inches in length, although some specimens grow larger. Its extendable jaw and expandable stomach allow it to consume fish, squid, and crustaceans. Although it can capture large prey, its diet also includes shrimp and plankton. This behavior is adapted to the scarcity of food in its environment. This is the strike of a cymbal captured in slow motion. Musical cymbals are usually made from bronze alloys for their acoustic quality. Brass is also used, especially in basic models. The impact generates complex vibrations that propagate across the entire surface. These vibrations produce the characteristic sound of the instrument. The mantis shrimp is a crustacean that can reach up to approximately 4.7 inches and inhabits regions such as Australia. It is known for its aggressiveness and for possessing front appendages capable of striking at a speed similar to that of a .22 caliber bullet, allowing it to break shells and hunt prey. Its vision is exceptional, as each eye moves independently and can detect ultraviolet, infrared, and different types of polarization. This ability allows it to locate nearly transparent animals in its environment. It belongs to the order Stomatopoda and has been the subject of numerous studies for its strength and visual perception. This is Lombard Street, located in San Francisco, United States. It is famous for its winding section with 8 sharp turns. It was designed this way in 1922 to reduce the original slope of 27%. The layout allows cars to travel safely. Its construction was proposed by resident Carl Henry and carried out by engineer Clyde Healy. Today, it is a tourist attraction and an urban symbol of the city. The Passion Diamond shoes were presented in Dubai by the brands Jada Dubai and Passion Jewelers. They are valued at $17 million, making them one of the most expensive pairs in the world. They were displayed at the Burj Al Arab Hotel. They are made of leather, silk, and gold, and set with 236 diamonds. The Pikachu Festival is held every year in Yokohama, Japan. The event takes place in the Minato Mirai district and is organized by the Pokemon Company. It includes parades with dozens of Pikachu mascots, nighttime shows, and interactive activities. It is held in summer, usually in August, and attracts thousands of visitors. It is one of the most popular themed events in the country. The Onagadori rooster originates from Japan and has been bred since the 17th century for ornamental purposes. Its tail can exceed 26 feet thanks to a mutation that prevents the molting of certain feathers. Under optimal conditions, these feathers can grow up to approximately 4 feet 3 inches per year. The tail is usually composed of between 16 and 18 main feathers. In 1952, it was declared a special natural treasure in Japan. This is a Chinook helicopter touching down and entering resonance. Ground resonance occurs when vibrations of the landing gear and rotors synchronize dangerously. It does not depend directly on engine speed, but on the interaction between structures. It can cause severe oscillations if not corrected in time. The solution is usually to adjust rotor speed or take off immediately. Welcome to the city of New Delhi, located in India. Did you know that the air in this city is so toxic that a single day here is equivalent to smoking 40 cigarettes? This is one of the most populated cities on the planet, and also one of the most polluted. Air pollution is estimated to be 10 times above levels considered safe for humans, and it does not seem like things will improve anytime soon. Recent studies say that this polluted air ends the lives of more than 1,500,000 people each year, making it one of the most dangerous cities to live in. This video was recorded at a zoo in Japan and shows a hippopotamus eating watermelons. In the wild, hippos feed mainly on short grass and can spend up to 5 hours each night eating. Although they are herbivores, in situations of scarcity, some have been observed consuming meat or carrion. This behavior is rare but documented. Hippos are highly territorial and aggressive animals. In Africa, they are responsible for numerous attacks on humans each year. For this reason, they are considered one of the most dangerous animals in the world. The tree of Tule is located in Santa Maria del Tule, Oaxaca, Mexico. It is an ahuehuete known for having one of the widest trunks in the world. Its diameter reaches approximately 45.9 feet. It is registered by the Guinness record as an exceptional tree. It has a height of more than 98.4 feet, and its age is estimated to be between 1,200 and 2,000 years. The Canadian astronaut Chris Hadfield demonstrated what happens when crying in microgravity from the International Space Station. In the absence of gravity, tears do not fall down the face, but instead accumulate as bubbles over the eye. This phenomenon can hinder vision and cause discomfort. Although the eyes produce tears normally, they do not slide across the skin. Hadfield explained that they must be removed manually. The grass-covered houses called turf houses are traditional in Iceland and were introduced by the Vikings in the 9th century. They are built with wood and covered with layers of earth and grass, giving them a distinctive and functional appearance. This design was perfected by Scandinavians and maintained for centuries. Their structure provides excellent thermal insulation, retaining heat in winter and coolness in summer. They were a practical solution given the scarcity of wood in the region. Many have been restored as cultural heritage. This floating soccer field is located in Guatapé, Colombia, on the reservoir of the same name. It was installed in the La Culebra Family Park as part of a recreational initiative. It is built on a floating platform with synthetic turf and safety nets. This type of structure allows people to enjoy sports in a natural setting. This is a drop of water falling in slow motion, captured at high speed to reveal details invisible to the human eye. Upon touching the liquid surface, the drop does not merge immediately due to surface tension and a thin layer of air. This contact generates a disturbance that forms concentric waves. In some cases, a small column of liquid forms and creates a new drop. That secondary drop can briefly bounce before merging. Sepak takraw is a sport originating in Southeast Asia that combines elements of soccer and volleyball. It is played on a court similar to a badminton court, with a net in the center and 3 players per team. 1 stands in the back and 2 in the front near the net. The ball has 12 holes, measures approximately 17.3 inches in circumference, and is made of synthetic fibers or rattan. Players may use their feet, head, back, and legs to hit it, but not their hands. Only 3 touches are allowed before returning it to the other side. It is very popular in countries such as Thailand, Malaysia, Laos, Indonesia, and Cambodia. This woman is Shamika Charles, known worldwide as the Limbo Queen. Originally from Trinidad and Tobago, she lives in Buffalo, New York. In 2010, she achieved the Guinness record for the lowest limbo in the world. In 2016, she broke another record by traveling the longest distance under a height of 11.8 inches. She was also the first person to do limbo under a car. Her skill has been recognized by international media. The Tunnel of Love is located in Klevan, Rivne region, Ukraine. It is a stretch of railway surrounded by trees that form a natural tunnel of approximately 1.9 to 2.5 miles. The vegetation was shaped by the regular passage of trains to a nearby factory. Although it is still used for industrial transport, it has become a popular tourist destination. Its romantic appearance has inspired local legends about wishes coming true. Oktoberfest is celebrated every year in Munich, Germany, for approximately 16 days between September and October. It is the largest beer festival in the world and attracts millions of visitors. Attendees often wear traditional clothing such as Bavarian lederhosen. At this event, the German Oliver Strumpfel set a record by carrying 29 full beer steins for approximately 131 feet without spilling them. This achievement was officially certified in 2018. She is Ayla Kirstein, a young Norwegian woman known for her ability to gallop on all fours. Her movements accurately imitate the trot and gallop of a horse. She began by practicing dog-like movements before perfecting her equine technique. Her videos went viral because of the coordination and natural motion she demonstrates. Although she closed her social media accounts due to media attention, her recordings continue to circulate. This is a technique of traditional Chinese painting, especially present in the Xie Yi style, which prioritizes spontaneous expression over detail. It begins with single strokes that define planes and forms with precision. Some artists load 2 or 3 different colors onto the same long bristle brush. When applying the brush, the colors are released and blend on the paper, generating accidental gradients. This effect depends on the type of ink, paper, and humidity. Prince Rupert's drop, also called a Dutch tear, is formed by dropping molten glass into cold water, which causes rapid cooling of the surface and generates extreme internal stresses. The exterior solidifies under high compression, while the interior remains under residual tension. Although it does not remain liquid, this structure allows the drop to withstand blows to its thick end, even with a hammer, but it disintegrates if the tail is broken. The phenomenon has been studied by physicists since the 17th century. The Dementor wasp is a wasp endemic to Thailand that was discovered in recent years and became world famous for having one of the most terrifying attacks in the animal kingdom. Experts who have studied it say these wasps use their stinger to turn cockroaches into the living dead. With a single sting, the wasp injects a lethal dose of venom into the cockroach's head and then lays its eggs inside it. Once the eggs begin to hatch, they feed on the cockroach's insides while it remains alive, turning it into a zombie or living dead. Because of this extreme attack, researchers decided to name it the Dementor wasp, after the Dementors from the Harry Potter movies that suck the life out of their victims in a matter of seconds. This is a huge wasp nest inside a Chevrolet El Camino automobile. Wasps are territorial and can become aggressive if they feel their nest is threatened. It is common for them to sting people who get too close. Their stings usually cause pain and swelling, but in most cases they are not serious. However, they can be dangerous for people who are allergic, as they may trigger severe reactions. These insects look for sheltered places to build their colonies. An abandoned vehicle offers the ideal space for this. This is a giant earthworm recorded in Colombia, whose presence is surprising given what is known about its distribution. According to Wikipedia, giant earthworms usually inhabit Asia and Australia. However, there are records of similar species in South America. Some belong to the family Megascalicidae, which includes genera distributed in tropical regions. The Colombian specimen measures more than approximately 20 inches and has been documented on video. This shows that its presence on the continent is possible. This competition was filmed in Hunan, China, where participants eat chili peppers inside a pool. It is part of local festivals that celebrate spicy food culture. The chilies used are usually regional varieties with moderate heat. They do not reach the intensity of the most extreme ones in the world. The Carolina Reaper, originally from the United States, is the hottest on record and exceeds 1.5 million Scoville units. The butterflies known as green dragontails belong to the species Lamproptera majus of the family Papilionidae. They inhabit tropical forests of South and Southeast Asia, including India, China, the Philippines, Malaysia, and Indonesia. They are recognized for their translucent wings and a long tail that gives them their distinctive name. Their wingspan ranges between approximately 1.6 and 2.2 inches. They fly close to the ground and feed on nectar. Their delicate appearance and slow flight make them especially striking. This is the St. Joseph Lighthouse, located in the state of Michigan, United States, on the shores of Lake Michigan. During winter, the lighthouse becomes covered by thick layers of ice due to waves and low temperatures. In warmer seasons, it appears clear, with its white structure and red roof visible. Inflating a tire with fire is an emergency technique used in cases of a tire coming off the rim. The area is sprayed with a flammable aerosol and ignited to generate rapid air expansion. The heat causes the tire to seal against the rim. Although it does not replace traditional inflation, it can serve to travel a few kilometers to a workshop. It is dangerous if not done carefully. It should only be used as a last resort in controlled situations. Filmed in Brazil, this shows a factory that works with amethyst geodes. Some stones are heated to about 1,652 degrees Fahrenheit to change their color to citrine. Natural geodes take thousands of years to form. They originate from minerals dissolved in groundwater or hydrothermal fluids. The cyclic elevator, known as a paternoster, is a vertical transport system composed of open compartments that move in a continuous loop. It does not stop for boarding or exiting, which requires users to step on and off carefully. Although it is informally called a death elevator, its use is safe if instructions are followed. This type of elevator exists in several buildings. The Karai swimming camels are a unique breed of dromedaries native to the state of Gujarat, India, especially the coastal regions of Bhavnagar and Surendranagar. They are adapted to marine ecosystems and can swim up to 1.9 miles to reach mangrove islands. There, they feed on species such as Avicennia and Rhizophora, tolerating high levels of salinity. Local herders, known as maldaris, allow them to roam freely for several days following tidal cycles. In Banff National Park in Alberta, Canada, wildlife corridors have been built over the Trans-Canada Highway. These overpasses and underpasses allow animals such as bears, elk, deer, and cougars to cross safely. They are covered with native vegetation to simulate the natural environment. Studies have documented more than 200,000 crossings over 2 decades. In addition to protecting wildlife, they have reduced traffic accidents by up to 80%. Let me introduce you to one of the strangest cattle breeds in the world, the Belgian Blue breed. They originate from the country of Belgium, and in case you are wondering, no, they do not use any kind of steroids to increase their muscle mass. These cows have a natural mutation that turns almost everything they eat into pure muscle, giving them that very unusual appearance. The farmers who care for them assure that they do not use any chemical or artificial products to feed them. Everything is 100% natural. The result of this genetic mutation is an animal that weighs more than 2,200 pounds and has powerful muscles all over its body. On the island of Marajo, located at the mouth of the Amazon River in Brazil, a dead humpback whale calf was found in the middle of the forest. The discovery occurred at approximately 49 feet from the coast in a mangrove area. This surprised experts, since whales usually migrate south during the summer. It is believed that the calf became separated from its mother and was carried inland by the tides. Humpback whales are common near Brazil in winter. Welcome to Iron Mountain, the most protected vault in the world. It was founded in 1951 with the purpose of safeguarding valuable possessions of ultra-wealthy individuals. The complex features a state-of-the-art security system with biometric scanners on doors and heat and motion sensors in every room. In short, you're looking at one of the most protected places on the entire planet. It is said that all kinds of jewels and confidential objects are stored inside, from top-secret files to artifacts belonging to famous people such as the late Marilyn Monroe. Who knows if all of this is true, but judging by the massive amount of security in place, it is very likely that some very interesting secrets are kept inside. Recorded in the United States, this video shows a manta ray eating lettuce, which is very strange because manta rays are carnivorous animals. Their natural diet includes zooplankton, small fish, crustaceans, and mollusks that they capture through filtration or with specialized jaws. If a manta ray interacts with lettuce, it is likely a curious behavior in captivity, not a dietary preference. This was recorded in time-lapse and shows the resurrection plant turning green again. Its scientific name is Anastatica hyrochuntica, and it is native to Arabia, Palestine, and Egypt. It is an extremely desiccation-resistant plant. It can remain dry for years and rehydrate upon contact with moisture. Its spherical shape allows it to roll with the wind in search of water. This behavior makes it a tumbleweed adapted to the desert. Octopuses are so intelligent that they get bored if they go a long time without solving some kind of problem. When they live in captivity, their caretakers must give them puzzles and challenges, such as placing them inside a jar so they have to open it, to keep them from getting bored and to give them a fuller life. These animals are said to be capable of using tools, have short and long-term memory, and solve complex problems. If their brains are not active solving situations and challenges, their life expectancy decreases drastically. The long-nosed chimera is a cartilaginous fish that inhabits deep waters of several oceans, at depths between approximately 656 and 6,562 feet. Its first dorsal fin has a venomous spine used for defense. The elongated snout is equipped with sensors that allow it to detect prey in darkness. It feeds on small fish and invertebrates. It belongs to the family Rhinochimeridae, related to sharks and rays. Did you know that this small frog has enough venom to kill 10 adult men? It measures only 2 inches but is the most toxic vertebrate in the world. It inhabits a small area of the jungle in Colombia and Panama. It is known as the golden poison dart frog and comes in different colors. Its venom is called batrachotoxin and is concentrated in its skin. According to scientists, a single specimen has about 1 milligram of venom, enough to kill 10,000 mice or 10 adult humans. Experts know how to handle them. If you ever see one, do not touch it and stay as far away as possible. This was recorded in Saint-Malo, France, a coastal city known for its powerful waves. Waves can reach the second floor of buildings facing the pier during Atlantic storms. Saint-Malo developed from the 6th century on a rock inhabited by the monk Maclou. The original settlement, Alethe, was fortified by the Romans in the 3rd century. In the Middle Ages, the area was raided by the Normans. Today, it is a tourist center with historic walls and an active port. The seahorse is one of the few animals in which the male carries out gestation. After mating, the female deposits the eggs into a brood pouch located on the male's abdomen. Fertilization and embryonic development occur there until birth. This pouch regulates salinity and oxygen, similar to a placenta. The process occurs in species such as Hippocampus erectus and Hippocampus abdominalis. These are transparent salps belonging to the family Salpidae. They inhabit equatorial and temperate seas, moving by jet propulsion. Their gelatinous, nearly invisible bodies make them difficult to detect. Part of their life cycle is solitary, and another part occurs in long-change colonies. This generational alternation is mandatory and facilitates reproduction. The featherless chicken was developed in Israel through selective breeding. Its creator, Avigdor Kahaner, crossed naked neck breeds to obtain birds more resistant to heat. The goal was to improve efficiency in warm regions by reducing overheating and cooling costs. This variety lacks feathers, which makes industrial processing easier. However, it is sensitive to climate and requires special care. Barnacles are marine organisms that attach themselves to submerged surfaces, such as ship hulls. Historically, wooden ships were coated with copper and lead oxides to prevent the buildup of algae, worms, and barnacles. This treatment gave the hull a reddish tone that became traditional. Today, modern anti-fouling paints are used, although red remains common by custom. Hulls can be painted any color, but red retains symbolic and practical value. A cramp is an involuntary muscle contraction that can affect one or several muscles. It usually appears suddenly and causes intense pain for a few minutes. The most common causes include prolonged exertion, sudden movements, dehydration, or exposure to cold. Although they can be uncomfortable, in most cases they are harmless. The affected muscle usually relaxes on its own over time. Gentle stretching can help relieve discomfort. Grabbing a cat by the skin of the neck can induce a temporary immobility response. This reflex is similar to what occurs when its mother carries it. It is called tonic immobility and is a physiological reaction. An average person can go without breathing for up to 4 minutes before the brain begins to fail. Speed cubing professionals can solve a Rubik's Cube with one hand in approximately 7 seconds. These times have been recorded in official competitions. If someone has practice and good lung capacity, it is possible to solve the cube underwater. This sport is known as extreme ironing and has become very popular in recent years. It consists of ironing a piece of clothing in the most extreme circumstances you can imagine, from climbing a mountain to skydiving, literally anywhere. Fans of extreme ironing consider it a mix of adrenaline and a lot of fun. This shows a hermit crab inhabiting a glass shell specially designed for aquariums. Although it does not occur in nature, these crabs can adapt to artificial shells if the size and shape are suitable. The glass shells allow observation of the body as it moves. On some coastal cliffs, the wind can be strong enough to send lightweight objects back after they are thrown into the void. This phenomenon occurs when updrafts or turbulence push dry branches, leaves, or paper back toward the edge. Did you know that in Japan, falling asleep at work can earn you a promotion? This custom is known as inamuri, which literally translates as sleeping in front of others. Inamuri is considered a sign of extreme exhaustion and of refusing to abandon your job even though you no longer have the strength to stay awake. This custom became popular in the 1940s when Japanese office workers had to work extremely long hours and fell asleep at their desks due to sheer exhaustion. Inamuri is highly respected in Japan, and if your boss sees you doing it, it is very likely that they will congratulate you or even promote you. The Y40 Deep Joy Pool is located in Montegrotto Terme, Italy. It was inaugurated in 2014 and has a depth of approximately 138 feet, equivalent to a 14-story building. It is considered the deepest pool in the world, according to the Guinness record, and was designed by the Italian architect Emanuele Boaretto. It is built inside the Hotel Terme Mille Pini and contains more than approximately 152,000 cubic feet of thermal water, maintained between approximately 96 and 93 degrees Fahrenheit. In addition to scuba diving and free diving, it offers beginner courses and training with international champions. This was recorded at the Kaufman Center for the Performing Arts in Kansas City, United States. What we see is a glass harmonica invented by Benjamin Franklin in 1761. The instrument is composed of glass bowls aligned on a rotating spindle. To play it, the performer moistens their fingers and rubs them along the edges. It produces soft, ethereal sounds through friction. Have you ever wondered why the vast majority of airplanes are white? This is due to several interesting reasons you probably had no idea about. First of all, it is cheaper for airlines. Dark-colored paints tend to degrade faster due to sunlight. Remember that airplanes fly at high altitudes and are exposed to solar radiation all the time. If they were painted green or blue, they would need constant touch-ups to maintain the same shade. And painting an airplane is not cheap. It costs between $50,000 and $200,000. Can you imagine the expense this would mean for airlines? But that is not the only reason. White paint reflects sunlight more easily, making cabins much cooler for the crew. Another important reason for painting them this color is that it is much easier for maintenance teams to detect any imperfections on the aircraft. A cyclist can maintain balance on a bicycle without moving by using a technique called a track stand. This skill requires controlling the center of mass and making micro-adjustments with the handlebars and the body. Bicycles in motion are stabilized by a combination of factors such as the gyroscopic effect of the wheels and the design of the fork. Static balance depends entirely on the cyclist's skill. Did you know that counterfeiting moves more than $500 billion annually? The counterfeit market is one of the largest in the world. According to a report from the European Union Intellectual Property Office, in the year 2016 alone, more than $500 billion in counterfeit clothing, shoes, and even perfumes were sold. Considering these figures, it is very likely that you have not noticed and have more than one counterfeit item in your wardrobe. Recorded at the Exploratorium Museum in San Francisco, this giant concave mirror concentrates light and sound at a single point. Thanks to its shape, it reflects waves toward the central focus. Although the environment may be noisy, if someone whispers at that point, another person farther away can hear it clearly. It is a fascinating demonstration of applied physics. The mirror allows people to experience how waves behave on curved surfaces. This small device is one of the most incredible inventions of modern medicine. The origami robot is a tiny robot that comes in the form of a pill and, once inside your body, can perform a wide range of tasks, from closing an internal wound to extracting harmful objects from the body. In case you are wondering, the robot is controlled by magnetic fields, allowing it to make extremely precise movements. It was developed at MIT, and its creators say it will not be long before it is fully ready to enter the world and save thousands of human lives. This is the famous Superman punch, used in Muay Thai and other martial arts. It consists of simulating a kick by lifting the rear leg to distract the opponent. Then the fighter throws a jumping punch with the opposite hand. The technique generates additional momentum and can surprise with its speed. This phenomenon was filmed at the Kawah Ijen volcano located in East Java, Indonesia. What appears to be blue lava is actually fire produced by the combustion of sulfur dioxide gases. These gases emerge from volcanic fissures at more than 1,112 degrees Fahrenheit. When they come into contact with the air, they ignite and generate intense blue flames. The effect is visible mainly at night. This is a tutorial on how to make an open diorama of a swamp with crocodiles. Dioramas are scale models that represent realistic or artistic scenes. The modern concept was developed in 1822 by Louis Daguerre and Charles-Marie Bouton. Before that, in 1781, Philippe Jacques de Loutherbourg presented the Idophusikon, a precursor theatrical installation that, although not a diorama in the strict sense, influenced its evolution. The blooming desert in Atacama, Chile, is a natural phenomenon that occurs in years of unusual rainfall in this region, considered the driest on the planet. More than 200 species bloom, many of them endemic. The aridity is due to the blocking of moisture by the Andes mountain range and the coastal range. In certain years, the El Niño phenomenon increases humidity and favors flowering. El Niño is a climate pattern that involves the cyclical warming of the Pacific Ocean. Its name was given by Peruvian fishermen who noticed warm currents near Christmas. This giant mechanical spider is called La Princesse and was presented in Liverpool, England in the year 2008. The installation was part of the celebration of the city as European Capital of Culture. It was designed and operated by the French urban art company La Machine. The structure measured 49.2 feet in height and traveled through the streets as part of a public performance. In May of 2016, an Airbus A321 from the airline Wizz Air flew at low altitude over the Danube River in Budapest, Hungary. The flight was part of the Nagy Futam show, organized by Red Bull as an aerial exhibition. The aircraft passed close to several bridges and buildings in the city center. Although it was authorized and carried out by professional pilots, it generated controversy due to its proximity to urban areas. Alpacas are one of the most social animals that exist. But did you know they can die of loneliness? Unlike other animals that can survive perfectly well without others of their species nearby, alpacas need to be surrounded at all times, or they may die of sadness. In London, England, it is common to see street performers who appear to be human sculptures frozen in time. One of them performs wearing a trench coat and tie that keep their shape thanks to thick gauge wires hidden in the clothing. To keep his hair completely still, he uses high-strength hairspray. The rigid posture and frozen expression make him look like a living photograph. The moire pattern is a visual phenomenon that arises when two grids of straight or curved lines with slight differences in angle or spacing are superimposed. This interference generates wavy or distorted figures that may appear to move. It is common in textiles, printing, digital screens, and graphic art. Although the grids are static, the effect produces a dynamic illusion. The hair of this dog stands up due to static electricity. This phenomenon occurs when the fur is rubbed with materials such as synthetic fabrics or balloons. The friction generates a buildup of electrical charge on the surface. Both conductors and insulators can retain this charge, although insulators do so for a longer time. It is more common in dry and cold environments. This was recorded during Mardi Gras in New Orleans, United States. What we see is the group Lisa's Boys parading in motorized recliner chairs. They are part of a local crew that celebrates carnival creativity. This parade is famous for its festive and theatrical character. Moraine Lake is a glacial lake located in Banff National Park in Alberta, Canada. Its waters have an intense blue color due to the refraction of light on rock particles. It is surrounded by the mountains of the Valley of the Ten Peaks. It is one of the most photographed landscapes in the country and appeared on older Canadian $20 bills. Its natural beauty makes it a prominent tourist destination. This was recorded in Chihuahua, Venezuela, a coastal town without road access. In the image, 4 boats transport a bus over the sea. This practice is carried out from Choroni as a solution to the lack of road infrastructure. Although risky, it is a technique known to local residents. The event went viral on social media in 2019 and reflects local creativity in the face of logistical challenges. Recorded in Puebla, Mexico, this man uses an ultraviolet lamp to locate scorpions at night. Under this light, scorpions emit a greenish or bluish fluorescence due to compounds present in their cuticle. This phenomenon has been documented in species of the genus Centruroides common in the region. Although biological functions such as defense or communication have been proposed, there is no scientific consensus. Some studies suggest it may be an evolutionary byproduct without a clear adaptive function. In June of 2019, a strange movement was recorded on the surface of a water tank in Anguil, La Pampa, Argentina. The phenomenon was identified as a sish, a standing wave that occurs in enclosed bodies of water. It can be caused by wind, changes in atmospheric pressure, or distant seismic activity. The tank was about 26 feet in diameter and around 10 feet deep. The oscillations were visible on the surface without external intervention. Recorded in Florida, United States, this violet sky appeared after the passage of a hurricane, possibly Dorian or Michael. The phenomenon is due to selective light scattering, where particles in the air redirect shorter wavelengths such as blue and violet. This occurs mainly at sunrise or sunset, when sunlight passes through the atmosphere at an angle. The presence of low clouds, saturated air, and mild temperatures intensifies the effect. Weifang in China is known as the world capital of kites and the host of a famous international festival. In 2015, a dragon-shaped kite was built there that measures approximately 16,404 feet long. It is made up of thousands of connected pieces and flies diagonally due to its size. Its creator claims it is the longest kite in the world. This work represents a remarkable feat in traditional Chinese art. This is the Great Banyan Tree, located in the Botanical Garden of Kolkata, India, considered the widest tree in the world. It is more than 250 years old and belongs to the species Ficus bengalensis. Although it appears to be a group of trees, all visible trunks are aerial roots that descended from the branches, took root in the ground, and became woody. These roots form a clonal colony that supports the same organism. The original trunk was removed in 1925 due to fungal damage, but the tree continues to grow. Recorded in the United States, this hybrid vehicle is called the Boaterhome and was created by the company Sport King in the 1980s. It combines a Ford Econoline van with a cabin cruiser boat measuring 28 feet. The land cabin is adapted to couple with the boat hull, forming a functional unit. It can travel on the road and navigate on water. The design allows it to be used as a motorhome and a recreational boat. Recorded in China, this video shows the controlled release of water from a dam when safety levels are exceeded. The process is carried out through gates, spillways, or relief tunnels that discharge excess water. These structures are designed to protect the integrity of the dam and prevent downstream flooding. In November 2019, the French company Royal Deluxe installed an artwork in Nantes that showed a Renault passing through a tree. The intervention surprised residents because of its realism and apparent technical impossibility. The tree appeared intact, suggesting that the vehicle was carefully dismantled and assembled around the trunk. 2 days later, the artwork was set on fire by unknown individuals. It was speculated that the act may have been due to annoyance over the traffic generated. In Alaska, massive appearances of jellyfish have been recorded, especially in areas of the Gulf of Alaska. Although species such as the moon jellyfish are common, in certain years unusual concentrations have been observed that surprise residents. These events can involve thousands of specimens visible from the coast. The causes include changes in temperature, salinity, and food availability. Although they are not always dangerous, their presence can affect fishing activities. Switzerland is famous for its picturesque villages that seem straight out of a fairy tale. These villages combine nature, history, and typical Swiss architecture. They are popular destinations for tourists seeking tranquility and beauty. Each one reflects the rural charm of the country. Switzerland proudly preserves its traditions in these unique places. These are bioluminescent marine organisms, such as ctenophores, also called sea walnuts. They emit light through a chemical process known as bioluminescence that converts chemical energy into light energy. This process often involves the enzyme luciferase, although it varies among species. Some caridians, such as certain shrimp, can also produce light, either in their tissues or through secretions. Bioluminescence serves functions such as defense, communication, or attracting prey. This is what happens when a red-hot metal sphere is placed on ice. The extreme heat melts the ice immediately, generating steam and intense sounds. The sphere can sink partially if the block is thin. If the ice is thick, the metal loses heat before passing through it. The cuttlefish is one of the most fascinating animals living beneath the ocean. Did you know it is capable of changing the color of every single cell in its skin? This is something no other known animal can do. Its impressive ability allows it to create all kinds of patterns, like the ones you are seeing right now. This helps it hide and deceive its prey, all thanks to the fact that it has more than 10 million neurons in its body that activate whenever this mollusk needs them. It is also able to rapidly change colors with the goal of hypnotizing its prey, something biologists consider a unique superpower in the animal kingdom. Groton State Forest, located in Vermont, United States, covers more than 26,000 acres of protected areas. In autumn, its landscapes attract visitors because of the colorful foliage. The forest includes 7 state parks and former railway routes converted into trails. Activities such as hiking, cross-country skiing, fishing, hunting, and camping are practiced. This is a double parking lift from the brand Cardock, designed to optimize space use in residential or commercial areas. The system allows 2 vehicles to be parked in the space of 1 through a hydraulic or electric platform. Cardock is a company recognized for its automated underground parking solutions. Recorded at the World Aviation Festival in England, this video shows how a helicopter works. The main blades rotate at a specific angle to generate lift, raising the aircraft. This motion not only pushes air downward, but also creates differential pressure. The tail rotor counteracts the torque of the main rotor. If it fails, the helicopter can spin out of control. Some models use alternative systems, such as coaxial rotors. Did you know that all the trees you are seeing are actually just one? The trees cover an area of approximately 106 acres and are located in Utah, United States. In recent years, scientists studying this area discovered that the trees are genetically identical and connected by a complex system of underground roots, which, in simple terms, means that all of them are actually a single organism. You just cannot see it because a large part of it is underground. For that same reason, this site is known as the Forest of One Tree. Due to its monstrous dimensions, some scientists consider it the largest and heaviest organism ever known. To give you an idea, it is believed that, collectively, this organism weighs about 6,614 tons. Recorded beneath the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco, this sailboat is the Maltese Falcon. With approximately 289 feet in length and 41.3 feet in beam, it is one of the largest private sailing yachts in the world. Its height reaches approximately 187 feet, just below the bridge clearance of about 220 feet above the water. It was built by the Italian shipyard Perini Navi, with technical collaboration in Turkey. The Sun Cruise Resort and Yacht is a hotel located in Cheongdong-jin, South Korea. Its design imitates a cruise ship stranded on a cliff overlooking the sea. It was inaugurated in the year 2002 and has become a tourist attraction. The structure measures approximately 541 feet in length. It has more than 200 rooms, restaurants, and a rotating bar. It offers panoramic views of the ocean and the sunrise. The Sabaduri Forest is located in the Mutsketa-Mutianeti region, within the Tbilisi National Park in Georgia. During winter, this forest is covered in snow and offers landscapes of great beauty. It is a popular destination for hiking and photography in the cold season. Sabaduri stands out for its dense vegetation and its proximity to the capital. Access is easy from Tbilisi, making it a frequent excursion. This is the largest atlas in the world. The Klenki Atlas measures 5 feet tall by 6 feet wide. It is so heavy that the British Library needs 6 people to move it. It was published in 1660. It consists of 37 maps with all the geographical knowledge of its time. Because of its historical value, it is kept at the British Library in London, in the section of ancient maps. This is a hyper-realistic tattoo created by Hungarian artist András Gombos, known for his technical precision. He works in Switzerland at the Blade and Shade studio. His style includes portraits, Asian motifs, and detailed cover-ups. Recorded in Brazil, this video shows an attraction based on optical illusions similar to the Ames room, where the slanted environment tricks the brain and alters balance perception. The effect is achieved through sloped constructions disguised with walls, bushes, or furniture, causing a sensation of instability while walking. The brain tries to align the body with the visual environment, generating postural confusion. Looking at the ground or closing the eyes can reduce the sensory conflict. Roman Butin is a Russian artist famous for transforming old coins into pieces of mechanical art. His works include detailed engravings and hidden mechanisms such as hatches, secret traps, and moving parts. Butin works within the style known as hobo nickel, which consists of modifying coins for artistic purposes. His designs combine engineering, visual storytelling, and great handcrafted precision. They are highly valued by collectors worldwide. This video shows the cruise ship Carnival Dream sailing in the Caribbean when it suffered a rupture in a water pipe. The incident caused flooding in approximately 50 cabins. The crew took about 6 hours to remove the water and replace damaged carpets. About 100 passengers were compensated with refunds and vouchers for future trips. A man shows his collection of silver and gold coins, two metals with very different values. In 2000, an ounce of silver cost around $4, and in 2025 it exceeds $37. Gold, on the other hand, went from approximately $280 to more than $2,300 per ounce. This reflects sustained appreciation in both metals over 25 years. Gold remains between 50 and 60 times more expensive than silver. Although it is considered a stable investment, its profitability depends on global economic factors. Gardaia is a city located in the Sahara Desert in Algeria. It was founded by the Mozabites approximately 1,000 years ago. It is part of the Mzab Valley, recognized as a World Heritage Site by UNESCO. The city is walled and preserves a traditional urban layout. Its houses are built with clay, sand, and plaster, adapted to the desert climate. Simple geometric shapes and earthy colors give it a unique appearance. Simone de Beauvoir described it as a beautifully constructed cubist painting. There are scale models of motorized galleons that are operated by remote control and are used in historical reenactments, nautical fairs, and educational events. Galleons were developed by the Spanish in the 16th century, combining elements of carracks and caravels. They were large, slow, and robust ships designed for transatlantic trade and naval combat, especially on routes between the Americas and Europe. Their structure included multiple deck levels, square sails, and cannons distributed in side batteries. Some reached up to 1,102 tons of displacement. Recorded in Santiago, Chile, this street musician plays the violin while manipulating a puppet with his knees and feet. The puppet simulates playing the piano, creating a synchronized and surprising scene. The coordination between live music and stage movement requires great skill. The Aqueduct is a transparent waterslide designed by Disney Imagineering that was inaugurated in the year 2010 and is installed on the Disney Dream and Disney Fantasy cruise ships. This attraction runs along the upper part of the ship on an elevated structure, allowing passengers to slide on inflatable rafts while enjoying ocean views. This is the Macallan Ice Ball Maker, a device that precisely molds spherical ice. It uses thermal pressure to transform ice blocks into spheres of approximately 2.56 inches in diameter. It is made of aluminum alloy and designed for drinks such as whiskey or cocktails. The spheres melt slowly, preserving flavor without diluting it quickly. It is marketed as a luxury accessory by the brand The Macallan. Frost is a natural phenomenon that occurs when water vapor freezes directly onto cold surfaces, forming ice structures without passing through the liquid state. In certain cases, a leaf can act as a mold, allowing the ice to adopt its exact shape and detach in a single piece. If the leaf is flexible enough, this type of formation is possible under conditions of high humidity and sub-freezing temperatures. Although it is not frequent, the presence of large leaves in cold areas is uncommon, but they can be found in protected gardens or grown artificially. This is a baby octopus, a vulnerable stage in its life cycle. Some species reach reproductive maturity between approximately 2 months and 2 years. Females can lay up to 200,000 eggs, although the number varies by size and species. After laying, the mother cares for the eggs until they hatch. She then dies as part of her biological cycle. Most hatchlings are eaten by marine predators. Only a few reach adulthood. Recorded in Denver, Colorado, this video shows an event called Bed Cinema, where attendees used inflatable mattresses instead of seats. An unexpected gust of wind carried more than 150 mattresses through nearby streets and parks. The scene went viral and was nicknamed the Great Mattress Migration. These are crop circles carved in a mangrove in Isla del Carmen, Mexico. Although they were mistaken for extraterrestrial messages, they have an ecological function. They are part of a mangrove reforestation program. The circular structures are known as cakes because of their shape. They act as seed reservoirs in degraded areas and allow the mangrove to regenerate naturally. Parrots have a notable ability to imitate sounds from their environment, including human words, laughter, and everyday noises. Although they do not understand meaning like humans, their imitation is not purely mechanical. They possess specialized brain structures that allow them to process and reproduce sounds accurately. In the wild, they use this ability to integrate socially through group calls. A parrot that imitates laughter does not do so because it understands humor, but because of auditory learning and a search for interaction. Imitation can be motivated by attention, repetition, or bonding with caregivers. This is a mosaic made with Rubik's Cubes that represents the character from the mobile game Flappy Bird. The game was created in 2013 by the Vietnamese developer Dong Nguyen and became very popular before being withdrawn by its creator. The technique used for the mosaic is called Rubikubism and consists of forming pixelated images by manipulating the colors of each cube. Recorded near San Cristobal Island in the Galapagos, Ecuador, this video shows a group of hammerhead sharks. These sharks swim in groups and have a hammer-shaped head that provides sensory advantages. Thanks to the separation of their eyes, they can see almost 360 degrees. In addition, their heads house electrical receptors called ampulla of Lorenzini, which allow them to detect prey hidden beneath the sand. This was recorded in Ontario, Canada, at the Canada's Wonderland amusement park. What we see is the Yukon Striker, a dive coaster roller coaster. It was inaugurated in May 2019 and is known for its great height, speed, and vertical drop. It is located in Vaughan, north of Toronto. It is one of the park's most prominent attractions. Giant clams, such as the species Tridacna gigas, primarily inhabit coral reefs in the western Pacific Ocean, especially in areas near Australia. They are filter-feeding bivalve mollusks that consume dissolved organic matter and plankton, and they can live for more than 100 years. They anchor themselves to the coral substrate and contribute to the ecological balance of the reef. Although they can expel water in response to physical stimuli, they do not do so as part of regular behavior. The species maintains a symbiosis with microalgae that allows them to generate energy. In Colombia, street performers carry out acrobatics at traffic lights, including juggling on a tightrope. These performances take place during the light change, taking advantage of brief pauses in traffic. There are artificial nails decorated with thermochromic paint, a type of polish that changes color depending on temperature. This effect is activated by body heat or the environment, creating dynamic and eye-catching designs. This is a scale model Corsair fighter aircraft, known for its distinctive design. The original model was used by the United States in the Second World War and the Korean War. Its most notable feature is its inverted gull wings. Some later models could fold their wings to facilitate storage on aircraft carriers. Filmed with a drone in the tundra of Iceland, this landscape shows subarctic regions with sparse vegetation and extreme climate. These areas are found mainly in the interior highlands. The terrain is rocky, with mosses and lichens adapted to the cold. This is a scale replica of the Flyer 1, the first powered airplane by the Wright brothers, which made its first official flight on December 17, 1903, in North Carolina, United States, flying for 59 seconds and covering approximately 853 feet. Its design included a front elevator rudder, a canard configuration, a forward surface that, although it looks like a tail, controlled the aircraft's altitude. Recorded in India, this group of white fulguromorphs forms a visible colony on vegetation. Fulguromorphs are hemipteran insects known for their ability to camouflage. Some species resemble leaves. They inhabit various tropical and subtropical regions. In certain crops, some species are considered pests because they transmit plant diseases. Their presence can affect rice, corn, and sorghum. Not all white species are harmful, but some require control. Recorded in Salzburg, Austria, this parade shows figures from alpine folklore known as Krampus and Perchten. It takes place each year around December 5 and 6, coinciding with St. Nicholas Day. Krampus are horned creatures that represent punishing spirits, while Perchten embody winter forces with carved masks that can be good or evil. Surface tension is a property of water that allows light objects such as metal paper clips to remain on its surface without sinking. This phenomenon occurs because of the cohesion between water molecules that attract each other through hydrogen bonds. That attraction creates a surface layer with elastic resistance. If the clip is placed carefully, the layer does not break and the object remains floating. Although the clip is denser than water, it does not sink because of the cohesive force. There are playing cards made from genuine carbon fiber, known for their resistance to water and wear. Carbon fiber has a high strength-to-weight ratio, superior to that of steel in certain applications, although it is denser than most plastics. These decks are usually marketed as luxury items. Some versions reach prices of more than $190. Recorded in Taiwan, this video shows mechanized rice transplanting, a technique that uses machines to place seedlings in the field. Unlike broadcast seeding, where seeds are scattered directly, transplanting improves distribution and crop control. The method is common in regions with highly mechanized agriculture. This is a Tibetan singing bowl, also known as a sound bowl. Although they are associated with Tibet, their origin traces back to India, and they spread throughout Asia, including China and Nepal. They are made from metal alloys and produce harmonic sounds when rubbed or struck. They are used in Buddhist practices for meditation and relaxation. They are also common in therapies such as yoga and sound healing. Their vibration helps calm the mind and balance energy. They are spiritual instruments with centuries of history. This is a smart parking system that uses a vehicle lift to optimize space. The system allows two cars to be placed in the area of a single parking spot by lifting one to free space below. It is common in urban areas with high density and limited parking availability. This system was created by Elena Gassler, a high school student in the United States. Her invention aims to reduce blind spots in cars. It uses a camera placed outside the vehicle, on the A-pillar, to capture the area the driver cannot see. The image is projected in real time inside the car. The projector aligns with a reflective fabric on the interior, creating the illusion of transparency. This design improves visibility without modifying the structure of the vehicle. It was awarded for its ingenuity in a national science competition. This is a train clearing snow from the tracks, probably in a region with heavy snowfall. In countries such as Canada, the United States, or Russia, locomotives are equipped with special devices for this task. These include front plows, rotary blowers, or combined systems. The front of the locomotive can be completely covered by the removal equipment. This setup is known as a snow plow kit and allows tracks to remain operational during winter. Recorded in Phetchabun Province, Thailand, this video shows the sea of clouds seen from the summit of Pu Thap Bok Mountain, which reaches approximately 5,886 feet in elevation. The phenomenon occurs when low clouds such as stratus or cumulus accumulate below the level of the mountain. These clouds form under conditions of high humidity and mild temperatures, common in mountainous regions. This is the road zipper system, a machine that repositions barrier walls according to traffic flow. It allows reversible or confined lanes to be created quickly and safely. It works by lifting and shifting concrete segments without damaging the pavement. It is common in areas with heavy congestion or road work. Its design includes an S-shaped channel that guides the barriers. At Power Field at Mile High in Denver, parachutist landings have taken place during sporting events. In free fall, a skydiver can reach up to approximately 186 miles per hour in a vertical position. When the parachute opens, the speed is reduced drastically, allowing for a controlled landing. The final speed usually ranges between approximately 12 and 19 miles per hour, depending on the equipment and technique. This deceleration is achieved thanks to the parachute design that maximizes air resistance. The jump requires precision and specialized training. It appears that this small airplane is suspended in the air due to a strong headwind. When wind speed equals the speed of the aircraft, its forward movement over the ground can be zero. At those moments, navigation instruments show 0 knots or miles per hour of ground speed. Although it appears stationary from the ground, it is still moving through the air. This phenomenon is technically possible and occurs under extreme conditions. The Ubon Ratchathani Candle Festival is held in Thailand at the beginning of the Buddhist retreat known as Khao Phansa. It is a religious and artistic tradition in which local artisans create monumental sculptures using wooden and plaster bases covered with wax. These figures represent Buddhist and Hindu mythological scenes and are not intended to be lit. The event draws thousands of visitors each year and is one of the most important in the Isan region. The candles displayed are among the most elaborate in the world because of their size and detail. In some scientific experiments, tornadoes are recreated in laboratories using fans and artificial fog. To generate the vortex, floor fans are positioned to create a circular airflow. Although it is not always shown on camera, an overhead fan is also used to push air upward. This setup imitates the movement of air in a real tornado. To make the phenomenon visible, dry ice is often dropped into water, producing dense fog. The result is a rotating column that simulates a tornado. These experiments help study the behavior of extreme atmospheric phenomena. Ice waterfalls form when water flows slowly over rocky surfaces and freezes in sub-freezing temperatures, creating structures that resemble melted wax. This phenomenon occurs in winter in mountainous areas with high humidity. In Vega, Colorado, there are natural ice pillars such as the Fang, known for their hardness and stability. These sites are popular among climbers because they offer ideal conditions for ice climbing. Ice formation depends on the consistency of the water flow and extreme cold. The texture of the ice varies depending on the freezing speed. The location is one of the most recognized destinations for this activity in the United States. Hobbiton is one of the fictional villages of the Shire in Middle-earth, created by the British writer Tolkien. For the films The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, a real Hobbiton set was built in New Zealand. The site is located near the town of Mata Mata on the North Island. After filming, the set was preserved as a tourist attraction. Its round houses and green landscapes faithfully recreate the world imagined by Tolkien. Today, it is one of the most visited destinations by fans of the saga. Aerogel was invented in 1931 by the American scientist Samuel Stevens Kistler. It is an extremely porous material composed mostly of air, with variants that reach up to 99.8% air and the rest silica or other compounds. Its translucent appearance has earned it the nickname frozen smoke. Although it is a solid with a stable structure, it is one of the lightest materials known, with densities barely 3 times greater than that of air. It can support loads far greater than its own weight and is used as thermal insulation in aerospace and scientific applications. These are lanternfish, known for their bioluminescent organs located beneath their eyes. These are not spots, but structures that house light-producing symbiotic bacteria. This light allows them to attract zooplankton, their main food source. They live in deep waters of the Indian Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, and the Red Sea. Their vision is adapted to the darkness of the marine environment. The blinking light can also serve to communicate or confuse predators. The deer cave is located in Gunung Mulu National Park on the island of Borneo, Malaysia, and is famous for housing millions of bats. Every day at dusk, they emerge in a long stream in search of food, forming a natural spectacle visible from outside. The park is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and stands out for its biodiversity and cave systems. The art of Bian Lian, or face-changing, is part of traditional Sichuan opera in China. It consists of the rapid change of colorful masks using secret techniques. Performers use precise movements and hidden mechanisms in their costumes. Although there is speculation about the use of threads, the exact method has not been revealed. Each color represents character traits: red for loyalty, white for betrayal, and black for integrity. The practice requires years of training and is considered cultural heritage. In videos recorded during storms at sea, it is common to see ships that appear to disappear and reappear among the waves. This effect occurs when the vessel descends into the troughs formed by the swell and then emerges on the crest. This is the Devil's Pool, located at the edge of Victoria Falls, between Zambia and Zimbabwe. It is a natural pool that forms during the dry season, between September and December. During that period, the flow of the Zambezi River decreases and allows supervised swimming. A rocky wall prevents bathers from being swept away by the current. Although it appears safe, swimming there is not without risk. The World Festival of Puppet Theaters is held every 2 years in Charleville-Mézières, France, and brings together companies from around the world for approximately 10 days. It was founded in 1961 by Jacques Félix and the company Les Petits Comédiens de Chiffon. The city also hosts the International Puppetry Institute since 1980. Charleville-Mézières is home to the International Union of Puppetry, and since 1987 has hosted the National Higher School of Puppetry Arts. The festival presents around 200 performances, both indoors and in public spaces, and receives more than 150,000 spectators. What appears to be a mix between a hyena and a fox is a maned wolf, also called Aguara guazú. It is the largest canid in South America and inhabits Brazil, Paraguay, Bolivia, and Argentina. In Uruguay, it is nearly extinct. It lives in grasslands and wetlands and is harmless to humans and livestock. Its diet includes fruits, roots, rabbits, birds, frogs, and occasional carrion. It has solitary habits and elusive behavior. Robo-1 competitions originated in Japan in the year 2002 and consist of fights between bipedal humanoid robots that simulate combat techniques. Some robots are autonomous and others are remotely controlled, using microcontrollers to process sensor data and respond to the environment. The main objective is usually to knock down the opponent or push it out of the combat area. The rules vary depending on the technical level and robot category. The tournament has evolved with improvements in design, mobility, and programming. Upside-down glasses, also called invertoscopes, are optical devices that invert the image reaching the retina using mirrors or prisms. They were used in experiments on visual perception starting in the late 19th century. When wearing them, the world appears completely inverted, which causes the brain to adapt progressively. Although they were not created exclusively for space travel, some researchers proposed their use to reduce motion sickness in altered gravity environments. In 2018, there were more than 400 active submarine cables worldwide. These cables carry most global data traffic, including internet, emails, and services such as WhatsApp. The laying process is carried out by specialized ships that unroll the cable from one point to another along the sea floor. Modern cables are fiber optic, capable of transmitting large volumes of information. The first transatlantic cable was installed in 1858 between Ireland and Newfoundland, now part of Canada. Although it operated for only 3 weeks, it marked the beginning of submarine telecommunications. This levitating water fountain creates an optical illusion using a strobe light. The intermittent light illuminates the water droplets as they fall, making them appear suspended in the air. This happens when the flashing frequency matches the falling speed of the droplets. Each flash illuminates a droplet in the same position as the previous one. The result is a fixed or apparently moving image. Although the water continues to fall normally, the visual effect deceives the human eye. This video shows a section of a rally race, a discipline practiced worldwide on surfaces such as gravel, asphalt, mud, snow, or ice. Despite the speed, drivers do not memorize the course. It is the co-driver who calls out the route in advance using a detailed pace note sheet. The notes include curves, obstacles, and key references. This coordination allows decisions to be made in fractions of a second. In very tight turns, drivers often use the handbrake to turn more quickly. Teamwork is essential to achieve good times. This is the hobo nickel, a form of art that consists of modifying low-denomination coins. It originated in the United States, especially with buffalo nickels starting in 1913. During the Great Depression, artists known as hobos carved designs into these coins. Well-executed pieces, or those signed by recognized artists, can reach high value. Some have been auctioned for more than $30,000. Capoeira is an Afro-Brazilian martial art developed by descendants of Africans during the colonial period. It combines dance, music, acrobatics, and combat techniques, and is practiced both as a physical discipline and a cultural expression. Its main styles are Angola and regional, each with different rhythm and focus. Although it has become popular worldwide, its roots are deeply tied to the history of resistance in Brazil. Migingo Island is located in Lake Victoria, between Kenya and Uganda, and has an area of approximately 21,500 square feet. Despite its tiny size, it is home to between 400 and 500 people, mostly Nile perch fishermen. The island has bars, a pharmacy, small hotels, and basic services. Sovereignty has been disputed since 2004, when Uganda placed a flag there. Although it officially belongs to Kenya, some residents claim to pay taxes to both countries. In Seward, Illinois, United States, a leak of anhydrous ammonia occurred during an agricultural operation in April 2007. The gas formed a visible white cloud that drifted with the wind, prompting the evacuation of the area. At least 10 people were hospitalized for respiratory problems. Although there were no serious injuries, ammonia is highly toxic and can cause death if inhaled in enclosed spaces without ventilation. Probably recorded at the Guadalajara Zoo in Mexico, this video shows hippos walking underwater. These animals are considered semi-aquatic because they spend much of the day submerged to regulate their temperature. At night, they leave the water to feed, mainly on grass. They are genetically related to whales and porpoises. They are the third heaviest land animal after the African elephant and the white rhinoceros. Their aquatic behavior is essential for their survival. The Tajumulco volcano is located in the department of San Marcos, Guatemala. With an elevation of approximately 13,850 feet, it is the highest point in Central America. Its main crater has a diameter of approximately 164 feet and is accessible on foot. This pool table is located aboard the cruise ship Radiance of the Seas, operated by the United States company Royal Caribbean International. It is equipped with a self-stabilizing gyroscopic system that compensates for the movement of the sea in real time. Thanks to this mechanism, the surface remains level even with waves, allowing the balls to follow their normal trajectory. These are hyper-realistic sculptures by the Mexican artist Rubén Orozco Loza. They are made with materials such as silicone, resin, wood, marble, and human hair. Their level of detail seeks to represent public figures with extreme realism. Each piece requires months of work and anatomical study. Orozco is internationally recognized for his technique and expressiveness. Chandipur Beach, located in the state of Odisha, India, presents an unusual natural phenomenon. The sea retreats up to approximately 3.1 miles during low tide. This occurs because of the extremely gentle slope of the coastal shelf, allowing the advance and retreat of the water to be observed visibly and rapidly. The phenomenon is periodic and has been documented by visitors and scientists. During low tide, a vast expanse of wet sand is revealed where shells, red crabs, and other marine organisms can be observed. Recorded in Val d'Or, Canada, this sled glides between snow-covered trees. The city is located in the province of Quebec and has long, cold winters. Boreal landscapes allow activities such as sledding, skiing, and snowshoeing. Only 3 species of bats feed exclusively on blood, and all are native to the Americas. These are Desmodus rotundus, Diamus youngi, and Diphylla ecaudata. Most bats use high-frequency sounds to orient themselves. This system is called echolocation and allows them to detect objects in the dark. They achieve this through the echo produced by their own sounds. It is a key ability for hunting and avoiding obstacles during nocturnal flight. In some regions, such as China, a curious technique has been documented for going downstairs while carrying heavy loads. It consists of descending backward, which allows better weight distribution and reduces physical effort. This posture helps maintain balance and prevents the load from pushing forward. Although it is not common in all contexts, it can be useful on steep or narrow staircases. The technique requires practice to avoid trips or falls. More than half of Brazilian supermodels were born in a small rural area called Rio Grande do Sul in southern Brazil. In this region, there is a perfect genetic mix for model scouts. Tall, slim women with straight hair, light skin, and light eyes, a blend of European and Brazilian traits. Supermodels such as Gisele Bündchen and Alessandra Ambrosio were born here. The artist Tim Klein, based in Vancouver, Canada, creates surreal assemblages by combining pieces from different jigsaw puzzles. He discovered that some manufacturers reuse the same cutting pattern, which allows pieces to be swapped between different models. Taking advantage of this coincidence, he builds unexpected visual compositions that blend landscapes, objects, and disparate scenes. The Guangzhou Finance Center skyscraper in China has one of the fastest elevators in the world. It was developed by the company Hitachi and reaches a speed of up to 3,937 feet per minute. This is equivalent to approximately 44.7 miles per hour. The elevator travels 1,443 feet from the ground floor to the 95th floor. The entire trip takes about 43 seconds. This technology represents a notable advance in vertical transportation. The cuttlefish is a marine animal very similar to squid, belonging to the group of cephalopods. It has the ability to change color and texture thanks to special cells called chromatophores. These color patterns are believed to function as a visual language among cuttlefish. Although there is no exact confirmed number, some studies suggest they can combine multiple patterns. Each one could convey different messages such as warning, attraction, or camouflage. This ability also serves them in communication during courtship. Their intelligence and complexity make them fascinating to science. This is the Chinese martial arts team using a qiang, or traditional spear. The qiang is considered the king of weapons in wushu, along with the staff, the saber, and the sword. What we see is a wushu competition, a sports discipline derived from Chinese martial arts. It includes choreographed forms and combat. Wushu was standardized as a sport in China in the 20th century. The spear stands out for its reach, speed, and technical difficulty. Spanish golfer José María Olazábal made a surprising shot during a practice round at the Masters tournament in Augusta. The event took place in Georgia, United States, in the year 2018. The shot was known as Six Frogs because of the ball's skips on the water. The ball splashed 6 times before landing near the 16th hole. This sport is bubble soccer, a variant of zorbing or sphere riding. It consists of players partially entering inflatable spheres to play matches. Zorbing, as a recreational activity, emerged in New Zealand in the 1990s. It was developed and commercially registered by local entrepreneurs. The spheres allow rolling and cushioning impacts during the game. This is a presentation of giant puppets by the French company Royal Deluxe. They are known for traveling through cities in street performances that combine theater, music, and monumental machinery. In Latin America, they have performed in countries such as Mexico, Chile, Argentina, Colombia, and Uruguay. Each event mobilizes thousands of spectators because of its scale and visual narrative. The puppets include characters such as the Little Giant and the Scuba Diver Uncle. Snuff bottles were used in China and Mongolia to store tobacco. This custom began in the 17th century, when the Portuguese introduced tobacco to the region. The bottles were made from various materials, such as glass, jade, or porcelain. Some were decorated on the inside with reverse painting using an angled brush. This technique required great precision and artistic skill. Although their original use was practical, today they are sold as souvenirs. Recorded in Italy, this instrument is a darbuka, also known as derbake, of Arabic origin and widely used in the Middle East. Traditionally, it was made from fired clay and goat or fish skin. In modern models, cast aluminum and plastic heads are used, improving durability. It is a percussion instrument used in folk and classical Arabic music. The RP Flip, or Floating Instrument Platform, is a scientific platform built in the United States in 1962. It measures approximately 354 feet in length and can rotate vertically to operate upright in open sea. This maneuver gives it great stability even during intense storms. It was designed for oceanographic, acoustic, and meteorological studies. Inside, elements such as beds, toilets, and sinks were duplicated to function in both positions. The Guelta of Arquet is located in northeastern Chad, deep in the Sahara Desert. It is a natural wetland formed by groundwater that emerges in a rocky depression. The term Guelta comes from Arabic and refers to this type of oasis in arid zones. Surrounded by unusual rock formations, the Guelta looks like something from another planet. It is far from any settlement and difficult to access. This place is considered one of the most astonishing landscapes in Africa. Did you know that baby koalas feed on their mother's feces during the first 4 months of life? Although this may sound very disgusting, it is actually very beneficial for them. During the first months of life, a koala's stomach cannot digest the bacteria or the toxins found in eucalyptus leaves. Their mother's feces serve a function similar to human breast milk. Through it, they obtain all the nutrients and antibodies they need to grow strong and healthy. The two-dimensional cafe, also known as Green Cafe, is located in the Yeonnam district of Seoul, South Korea. Its monochromatic black and white design creates an optical illusion that simulates a two-dimensional environment. Furniture, walls, and utensils are outlined as if they were part of a drawing. The place looks like something out of a comic or animation. This aesthetic has made it a popular destination for photographs. It was designed to eliminate the perception of depth. This is the bobbit worm, a deep-sea marine annelid known for its ambush technique. It can reach up to approximately 9 feet 10 inches in length, although it usually measures less. It lives buried in the seafloor, leaving only its head exposed. Its retractable jaws attack with great speed and precision. It feeds on fish, squid, octopuses, and small crustaceans. Its bite can split its prey in half. It also consumes organic remains, making it omnivorous. This is the original Legoland theme park, inaugurated in 1968 in Billund, Denmark, where the first Lego factory was also established. Since then, other Legoland parks have opened in countries such as England, Germany, Japan, Malaysia, the United Arab Emirates, and the United States. The United States locations are in California and Florida. All the parks are inspired by the construction universe created by Ole Kirk Christensen. The practice of throwing flat stones so they bounce across the water is known as stone skimming. It is a popular recreational activity in various parts of the world. On the island of Eastdale in Scotland, the World Stone Skimming Championships are held every year. This tournament began in the year 1983. Participants use local slate stones to compete. Recorded at the Boyer Museum in Belleville, Kansas, this video shows an animated wooden craft. The work was created by the American sculptor Paul Boyer, known for his hand-carved mechanical figures. Each piece moves thanks to mechanisms he designed himself. The museum displays dozens of these interactive sculptures. It is a unique example of folk art and technical creativity. The figures represent everyday scenes and characters with humor. The Badain Jiran Desert is located in Inner Mongolia, China. It is one of the driest places on the planet, with very little annual precipitation. Despite this, it contains 144 permanent lakes among its dunes. Some lakes are freshwater and others are saltwater. They are fed by groundwater coming from distant mountains. The name means Desert of the Mysterious Lakes in Mongolian. The kinetic sculpture known as Breaking Wave is located in the lobby of Biogen IDEC in Cambridge, United States. It was created by the studio Hypersonic and is composed of 804 suspended metal spheres. These balls move through a motorized mechanism that generates undulating patterns. The design is inspired by scientific and mathematical concepts. The artwork seeks to represent order within chaos. It is visible from the street and from inside the building. On December 28, 2018, an incident occurred in Queens, New York. An explosion at a Con Edison electrical substation caused a blue glow in the sky. The event was caused by a transformer failure. The Ambuluwawa Tower is located in Gampola, in the central province of Sri Lanka. It is part of the Ambuluwawa Biodiversity Complex, situated on top of a hill at more than approximately 3,280 feet above sea level. The tower has a spiral design and reaches approximately 157 feet in height. From the top, mountains, rivers, and forests surrounding the region can be seen. Its external staircase narrows progressively, making it challenging for visitors. It is known for its panoramic views and unique architecture. Bioart is a form of art that uses living organisms as a medium of expression. The Turkish microbiologist Mehmet Berkman and the Spanish artist Maria Peñil have created works using petri dishes filled with agar, a gelatinous substance derived from algae. In these dishes, microbes are cultured to form unique visual patterns. The drawings are not made by hand, but emerge from the natural growth of the microorganisms. This is a surfer's party in San Diego, United States, a city with a strong surf culture. San Diego hosts events such as the Switchfoot Bro-Am and the Luau and Legends Invitational. These celebrations combine surf competitions with music and community activities. Octopuses have a remarkable ability to camouflage, as they can change both color and texture. They achieve this through pigment cells called chromatophores that reflect light in different ways and muscular contractions that alter the surface of their skin. Some species inhabit the Indian and Pacific Oceans, including areas near the Maldives. Texture change allows them to imitate rocks, corals, or sand to avoid predators. This ability is activated through complex nerve signals and has a high metabolic cost, comparable to vital functions such as digestion. The chain fountain effect is a counterintuitive physical phenomenon popularized by physicist Steve Mould. It occurs when a chain falls from a container and forms an upward arch before descending. This behavior is due to inertia, the rigidity of the links, and the tension generated by the chain's acceleration. The edge of the container contributes to the initial impulse, but it is not the only cause of the arch. Tokyo has an elevated monorail system known as the Tokyo Monorail. It was inaugurated in the year 1964. It connects Haneda Airport with the city center. It runs on a single rail structure and offers views of Tokyo Bay and Mount Fuji on clear days. This was recorded in time-lapse and shows a mosquito feeding on blood. Its abdomen visibly expands during the process. Each year, more than 700,000 people die from mosquito-borne diseases. Among them are malaria, dengue, and yellow fever. This figure exceeds annual deaths from armed conflicts worldwide. Throughout history, mosquitoes have been the animals responsible for the greatest number of human deaths. Did you know that in Mexico, Belgium, Germany, and Austria, it is perfectly legal to escape from prison? Or rather, you cannot be punished for trying. In these countries, the desire to escape from a confined place is considered part of human nature, so they consider it unfair to add more time to a sentence for following a normal human instinct. Recorded from Pedra da Gávea in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, this monolith rises to approximately 2,762 feet above sea level. It is considered the largest coastal monolith in the world because of its height and proximity to the ocean. At times, parachutists perform base jumps from its summit. Although they are not officially authorized, these descents are extremely dangerous and require high precision. Parkour is a physical discipline that consists of moving fluidly while overcoming urban or natural obstacles. It requires strength, coordination, and good physical condition. It is recommended to wear shoes with non-slip soles to improve grip. Some practitioners use gloves, but many prefer bare hands for greater sensitivity. Beyond technique, parkour promotes a philosophy of self-improvement and respect for the environment, avoiding putting life at risk or competing with others. These are homing pigeons trained in a loft for the Derby in Seville, Spain. Pigeon racing is the practice of breeding and training pigeons to compete in long-distance flights. In these events, the birds travel hundreds of miles guided by their sense of orientation. The Seville Derby is one of the most recognized competitions in Europe. Lofts allow the performance of each specimen to be controlled and measured. Recorded in the United States, this video shows a rock known as Euperlite, discovered in Michigan in 2017 by Eric Rintamaki. These rocks are a variety of syenite, rich in sodalite, a mineral that fluoresces yellow under ultraviolet light. The unusual glow is due to fluorescent compounds in its structure. These desserts were created by the British chef Ben Churchill, known for his hyper-realistic style. His works imitate unappetizing objects, such as used ashtrays and rotten fruit. Each piece is made with edible ingredients and advanced pastry techniques. The goal is to challenge the diner's visual perception. Recorded in Hafjell, Norway, this video shows Lilleputthammer, a theme park with a 1:4 scale replica of Lillehammer's main street in the 1930s. The installation includes buildings, shops, and activities designed for children. Sea turtles usually nest on tropical or subtropical beaches. During the nesting season, each female can make between 2 and 8 nests. In each one, she lays approximately 110 eggs. Despite this large number, the survival rate is very low. It is estimated that only 1 out of every 1,000 hatchlings reaches adulthood. This fact reflects the challenges sea turtles face in their life cycle. In 2009, Google Earth users observed a pattern of lines on the floor of the Atlantic Ocean near Morocco. Some interpreted these shapes as possible remains of Atlantis because of their appearance resembling roadways or urban structures. However, Google clarified that these were technical errors in the collection of bathymetric data. The lines correspond to routes followed by ships mapping the seafloor. Aerogel is an extremely lightweight and porous solid, known for its low thermal conductivity. It was invented in 1931 by the American chemist Samuel Stevens Kistler. Its translucent appearance has earned it nicknames such as frozen smoke or solid smoke. It is obtained by replacing the liquid in a gel with gas through supercritical drying. Thanks to its structure, it is one of the best thermal insulators known. It is used in scientific, aerospace, and construction applications. This is the X-Scream amusement ride, installed on top of the Strat Hotel Casino Tower in Las Vegas, United States. The tower reaches a total height of approximately 1,145 feet, making it the tallest freestanding observation tower in the country. The ride car extends more than approximately 26 feet beyond the edge of the building. The design simulates a free fall over the city, creating an extreme experience. During a modeling show in the United States, a replica of a tank landing craft used in the Second World War was presented, specifically in the Normandy landings. These vessels transported armored vehicles from ships to the shore. Modeling recreations are often detailed and based on historical documentation. The salmon cannon was created by the United States company Whoosh Innovations. This system transports fish by suction through a low-pressure pneumatic tube. Its purpose is to help salmon overcome obstacles such as hydroelectric dams. In the Columbia River, many migration routes were blocked by the construction of dams. The cannon allows salmon to reach their spawning grounds safely. The larvae of lacewings, also known as green lacewings, belong to the order Neuroptera and are recognized for their camouflage behavior. Some species collect environmental debris such as exoskeletons, dust, lichens, or spider webs to cover themselves, forming a kind of dorsal backpack. This camouflage helps them avoid predators by blending in with the substrate and can also conceal their scent. They feed mainly on aphids and other small insects, making them natural allies in biological control. Compressor Head is a band formed by robots, created in Berlin in 2005 as an artistic and technological project. Its members include Stickboy on drums with 4 arms and Fingers on guitar with 78 mechanical fingers. The robots play real instruments using pneumatic systems and digital control. They have participated in international festivals and shared stages with well-known bands. The MV Blue Marlin is a semi-submersible ship of Norwegian origin, operated by the company Dockwise. It is designed to transport extremely heavy loads, such as oil platforms, submarines, and other vessels. Its deck can be partially submerged to allow structures to float onto it. The ship is then raised and transports them to their destination. This type of vessel is essential in specialized maritime logistics. Recorded in the Dominican Republic, this video shows a beach affected by the accumulation of solid waste, especially plastics. Although part of the trash comes from local sources, regional studies indicate that it also arrives from other Caribbean countries such as Mexico and Venezuela, and even from the United States, carried by ocean currents. Pollution on these coasts is the result of land-based activities and inadequate waste management. This is the Rakotsbrücke Bridge, known as the Devil's Bridge, located in Kromnau Park in Saxony, Germany. It was built in 1860 as a decorative structure. Its arch is designed to form a perfect circle when reflected in the water. Walking on it is not permitted because of its fragility. It is one of the most photographed bridges in Europe because of its unique symmetry. The Naval Honor Guard in China is part of the People's Liberation Army and participates in official ceremonies and national and international parades. During these formations, soldiers maintain precise alignment, using visible markers such as white lines painted on the ground. These guides help preserve symmetry and order in synchronized movements. This was recorded in Japan, where we see several pigeons crowded around a car. This behavior occurs when there are food remnants nearby or the vehicle is in an area frequented by birds. Urban pigeons tend to gather in places where they can easily find food. This is the goblin shark, a little-known species that inhabits deep waters. It can measure between approximately 9 and 13 feet and has a protrusible jaw that extends to capture prey. Its long snout is covered with sensors that detect electric fields. It has occasionally been caught by trawlers in Japan, New Zealand, and Mexico. Its habitat is usually between approximately 3,284 and 4,593 feet deep. This is a hang, a percussion instrument invented in the year 2000 by Swiss luthiers Felix Rohner and Sabina Scherer in Bern, Switzerland. It was developed by the company Pan Art and is characterized by its lenticular shape similar to a flying saucer. It is made of hollow metal and has tuned indentations that produce different musical notes when struck with the hands. The design allows for rich harmonic resonance without the need for mallets. Recorded in Hampstead Heath Park in London, England, this is a giant snowball. Judging by the people standing next to it, it probably measures about 28 inches in diameter. On August 19, 2019, the sky over Sao Paulo darkened in the middle of the day, around 3 in the afternoon. This phenomenon was caused by smoke from forest fires in the Amazon, combined with a cold front that trapped the particles in the atmosphere. The darkness surprised residents and generated international concern. The fires were concentrated in states such as Rondônia, Acre, and Mato Grosso. Although the smoke affected several regions, the darkening was most visible in Sao Paulo. Humanitarian demining is one of the most extreme jobs that exist. It consists of exploring areas where conflicts occurred to search for and deactivate mines that remain active. Despite being very necessary work, it also involves enormous risks. The people who carry it out use special protective suits, metal detectors, trained dogs, and armored vehicles capable of withstanding any explosion. Smart glass with polymer-dispersed liquid crystal technology can switch from opaque to transparent in milliseconds when an electric current is applied. It is composed of liquid crystals dispersed in a polymer that align when voltage is applied. These films can be attached to glass surfaces or integrated into laminated glass. They are used in architecture, automobiles, and electronic displays. The state change is fast and reversible. The PL-01 is a prototype light tank developed in Poland by Obram in collaboration with BAE Systems. Its design is based on the chassis of the Swedish CV90120-T tank. It incorporates thermal camouflage technologies that reduce its infrared signature. At night, it can match the temperature of its surroundings to avoid detection. During the day, a visual projection system has been proposed to blend in with the landscape. This was probably recorded in Austria, where mudflows are common in mountainous areas. These phenomena occur after torrential rains or during snowmelt at the beginning of spring. The accumulated water drags soil, rocks, and vegetation downhill. This is an orphaned kangaroo, entering a fabric pouch that simulates the maternal marsupium. Kangaroos are the only large mammals that move primarily by hopping. They can reach speeds close to 43 miles per hour in short bursts. To walk slowly, they are clumsy due to their morphology. They use their tail as a third leg in a pentapedal gait. This movement allows them to advance while feeding. The liquid shard structure was a temporary kinetic installation created by artist Patrick Shearn. It was exhibited in Pershing Square, Los Angeles, in the year 2016. It was composed of a network of metallic strips suspended by cables. Its design allowed it to move with the wind, giving the impression of floating. The visual effect evoked a liquid wave suspended in the air. The coconut octopus, scientifically known as Amphioctopus marginatus, inhabits tropical waters of the western Pacific Ocean, especially in areas such as Indonesia and the Philippines. It is famous for using coconut shells and seashells as portable shelters, representing one of the few documented cases of tool use in invertebrates. It can move in a bipedal manner using two tentacles, mimicking floating objects to avoid predators. Its total size is around 6 inches, including tentacles. It has also been observed collecting pieces to form defensive shelters. Recorded in Russia, this phenomenon shows a strong snowstorm known as whiteout. Under these conditions, visibility can be reduced to less than 3 feet. Extreme temperatures, often below -4 degrees Fahrenheit, increase the risk of hypothermia and disorientation. Whiteout occurs when blowing snow completely covers the visual environment. It is common in open regions at high latitudes. Recorded aboard the cruise ship Explorer of the Seas near Tenerife, Spain, this video shows a tilted hallway during a storm. The vessel tilted up to approximately 45 degrees due to winds exceeding approximately 80 miles per hour. This tilt caused chaotic scenes on board, with objects sliding and passengers struggling to keep their balance. A homopolar motor can be built with a battery, a magnet, and a conducting wire. The magnet generates a constant magnetic field, and when the circuit is closed, current flows through the wire. This current interacts with the magnetic field according to the Lorentz force. The result is a rotating motion of the wire or the moving assembly. The current does not flow radially, but in a direction perpendicular to the field. The design is simple, but it demonstrates fundamental principles of electromagnetism. It is one of the most basic electric motors known. This fish is an Anabas testudineus, also known as the climbing perch. It has the ability to walk and breathe outside of water. It possesses a special organ known as the labyrinth organ that allows it to take oxygen directly from the air instead of from water. It is estimated that it can survive up to 6 days out of water. Arte Sella is an open-air museum located in the Val di Sella in Borgo Valsugana in the province of Trento, Italy. This space combines contemporary art with nature in a mountainous, forested environment. The works are created by international artists and are integrated organically into the landscape. The route includes trails where sculptures made from natural materials are displayed. A gyroscope is a mechanical device that spins on its axis and generates a stabilizing effect due to angular momentum. This principle allows objects such as spinning tops or balls balanced on a finger to maintain equilibrium. In naval engineering, some ships use gyroscopic stabilizers to reduce hull rolling. Although this improves overall stability, it does not act directly on swimming pools. Recorded in Russia, these soldiers are wearing ghillie suits, also known as yaoi in some contexts. These camouflage suits allow them to blend into the natural environment. Their origin dates back to Scotland, where guards called ghillies protected noble lands from poachers. They wore garments covered with strips of fabric and local vegetation. Recorded in Colorado, United States, this video shows a conveyor belt for skiers. These mechanical belts, also called magic carpets, help people go up small slopes without effort. They are common at ski resorts, especially in beginner areas. They function even in heavy snow and extreme cold conditions. They offer a safe and practical alternative to chairlifts. This video shows the vertical landing of the Falcon 9 rocket from SpaceX on a floating platform in the Atlantic Ocean. Although it appears to be in reverse, the descent is real and controlled. Blue Origin has also managed to land its New Shepard rocket, but on solid ground. Both systems aim to reuse rockets that were previously lost after launch. This technology significantly reduces the costs of space missions. SpaceX began these successful landings in the year 2015. The advancement has transformed the modern aerospace industry. This is a robotic hand prosthesis manufactured using three-dimensional printing. It works by capturing electrical signals from the body, known as myoelectric signals. These signals allow the user to move the prosthesis with precision. It is designed for transradial amputations, meaning those that preserve the elbow. This type of technology improves autonomy for people with limb loss. Recorded at the Bitforms Gallery in New York, this is the Pom Pom Mirror by artist Daniel Rosen. The artwork is composed of 928 synthetic fur pom-poms. Each one moves thanks to 464 motors connected to a digital system. A sensor detects the position of the viewer's body. The silhouette is reproduced in real time through the movement of the pom-poms. It is a kinetic sculpture that brings together art, technology, and perception. The island of Mont Saint-Michel is located in Normandy, France, and is famous for its medieval abbey built on a rocky formation. It lies at the mouth of the Couesnon River, in a bay with some of the highest tides in Europe. These tides can temporarily isolate it, making access vary depending on the water level. At certain times, it can be reached on foot by an elevated causeway. At others, the water covers the path and the island is completely surrounded. Recorded in Cambodia, this video shows a variant of the traditional sport known as jianzi, originally from China. It consists of keeping a feathered shuttlecock in the air by striking it with the feet or other parts of the body, but never with the hands. In Southeast Asian countries such as Vietnam, there are local versions with similar rules. In formal competitions, a net is used, and the game can resemble volleyball in its dynamics. This was recorded at the Ice and Snow Festival in Harbin, China, one of the largest in the world. Each winter, thousands of tourists visit its monumental sculptures made from ice taken from the Songhua River. Many are illuminated with colored lights. Temperatures often drop below -5 degrees Fahrenheit, or even lower. This is an electric arc, also called a voltaic arc, formed between two electrodes in a gaseous atmosphere. It is a sustained discharge that can reach temperatures above 9,032 degrees Fahrenheit. When it occurs accidentally, it represents a serious risk in electrical installations. Factors such as humidity, wind, or branches can influence its path. This is a robot presented during the Digital Content Expo in Tokyo, Japan. It was created by Japan's National Institute of Advanced Industrial Science and Technology. It measures approximately 5 feet 2 inches tall and weighs around 95 pounds. It is designed with human proportions and expressive capabilities. Its performance demonstrated advances in humanoid robotics. In Finland, swimming under ice is an extreme practice that requires training and safety measures. The swimmer Elina Mäkinen has performed rope-guided immersions in frozen lakes where access holes are cut into the ice. In water close to 32 degrees Fahrenheit, an unprotected person can lose consciousness in less than 15 minutes. The use of a rope helps maintain orientation under the ice. The practice combines physical endurance and mental control. This man demonstrates a homemade method for parking his pickup truck without touching the wall or the garage door. He uses 2 marks on the wall that line up with the beam of the headlights when the vehicle is in the correct position. This system depends on keeping the height and angle of the headlights constant. These are the ghost cubes created by Swedish designer Erik Oberg. They are 3-dimensional structures formed by cubes connected to each other. They can be folded, rotated, and transformed into multiple shapes. They combine principles of origami, kinetic sculpture, and modular design. Oberg has worked with materials such as paper and wood to build them. This phenomenon shows clouds that change from white to yellow depending on the position of the camera. This effect is due to sunlight, especially during sunrise or sunset. At those times, the atmosphere scatters short wavelengths and allows longer ones, such as yellow and red, to pass through. In addition, cell phone cameras automatically adjust white balance. This can alter colors depending on angle and exposure. These are thousands of birds known as great kiskadés, probably of the species Pitangus sulphuratus. This bird is distributed from the southern United States to Uruguay and Argentina. It is recognizable by its bright yellow breast plumage and loud call. During the protests of June 2019 in Hong Kong against the extradition bill, demonstrators blocked streets but allowed emergency vehicles to pass. They made room for an ambulance and removed barricades for a fire truck. The mobilizations brought together more than 1 million people. This is an inverted video filmed beneath the ice layer of Lake Sauriserka in Finland. The scene shows divers moving upside down, although in reality, they are floating toward the ice. The visual effect is achieved by flipping the image and taking advantage of light refraction in the water. Lake Sauriserka is known for its clear waters and extreme winter conditions. This video shows a man blowing through a hole in the ice of a lake, illustrating the volume of a human exhalation. A normal resting breath expels approximately 17 fluid ounces of air. By contrast, a forced exhalation can reach up to approximately 85 fluid ounces, as seen here.
If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like it and share it with your friends. Subscribe so you don't miss more interesting content. Leave your comments and click on any of these videos. See you next time.